Hello and Happy New Year. Seriously, I mean that. I hope that you have an amazing 2022. After all, the last couple of years have sucked so badly, I think we all deserve it, don't we? Traditionally, New Year is a time for setting New Year's resolutions, but if I'm honest, I'm not really a fan of that. Setting a few minor changes to my life that will inevitably fail always leaves me feeling somewhat cold. Perhaps I'm just a pessimist. That said, I do like to use New Year to take stock of my life in a broader sense, and that is what I want to talk to you about today. Not my life, I'm sure you're not interested in my life, but yours, and in particular, your career and where it's going. Whether you work in-house or you run your own business, it's easy for your work life to lack direction. Although I hate that generic interview question, where do you see your life in 5 years? There is a good sentiment behind it. We do need to be thinking about where our career is going. Otherwise, it's easy to get swept along and end up miles away from any vague destination we had in our heads. Of course, that means we need to know what our destination is, which can often be pretty elusive, can't it? First, many of us just don't have a clue of where we want to go in our careers. And then there are many of us who think we want one thing, but in actual fact, we don't. And that second point is very widespread, at least among those people that I mentor. I often hear agency owners talk about they really want to grow their agencies, or freelancers who say, I really want better clients. However, often when I dig a little deeper with them, those aren't their true objectives, yet they don't even realize that. For example, that agency owner who wants to grow their business might really want to do so because they personally want to take home more money. However, growing a business isn't the only way of achieving that goal, is it? Then there's freelancers, that freelancer who wanted to have better clients. Well, actually, what they probably want is nicer clients that they enjoy working with, easier clients because maybe they're feeling stressed or overwhelmed. But again, there are many approaches for reducing stress that have got nothing to do with changing your client base. So, here is my advice. If you're the same as me and you're not really a fan of those short-term New Year's resolutions, decide on your destination. What is it you want from your life? Where do you want to go in your career? Now, forget the whole 5 years thing because nothing ever happens on a schedule. However, at least know where you want to go. So how do you decide that? Well, begin by picturing what you want your life to look like. Not your career, not work, but your life. What do you want your perfect life to be? Do you want to work less or travel more? Maybe make more money or have more time with your family? Or something else? Might want to spend more time by yourself and away from the family, I don't know. Challenge yourself over any picture that you create in your head. Ask yourself why you want it. Is there actually a more profound need that you have that you could achieve differently in some way? There are many ways to get to the same aim. Now, once you've kind of gone through that existential crisis, ask yourself what kind of career would support that? Would you be working in-house or for yourself? Obviously, working in-house brings more stability, but if you own your own business, it offers more flexibility. Think about the shape of the role that you would like to be fulfilling. For example, would you need to be full-time or part-time? What about where you would work? Do you want to be able to work from anywhere, or are you happy to compromise over that and work in the office? What about the type of work? Does it really need to be interesting, or would you be willing to sacrifice that for, say, more money or flexibility in your life? Don't overly worry about how ambitious or otherwise the destination is. However, keep it within the realms of possibility. Otherwise, you're going to get demoralized. You can always revise your destination in the future. Once you know where you want to go, then you can look at ways to get there. Now, in truth, I don't worry too much about the path or the timescales to reaching my destination. Life's just too unpredictable to chart a straight course to your destination. However, if you have a clear picture of where you want to be, it will guide your decisions along the way. It'll also help you spot opportunities which may help you to move closer to your destination. They come along a lot more than you think, but we often fail to notice them unless we can see their value. And we're only going to recognize their value if we know where we're heading. Having a destination in mind also helps you to realize when you're in a rut or you're stuck in a dead-end job. It'll give you the confidence to make the changes that you need to. Of course, all of this is easier said than done. It can be hard to identify what you're looking for from life and work. It can be harder still to work out positive steps that you can take towards your goal and to keep the momentum up. It helps to have someone to support you, somebody to guide you in your career and to some extent in your life more generally. That could be really anybody, although personally I favour working with people I admire and whose life in some way has some aspect of the life that I want. Now, it could be a friend who holds you accountable, or an expert you admire in the field, or even a community of people like, say, the BOAG World Slack community. Then, of course, there are professional coaches like myself, but we don't have all the answers, we don't have any magic solutions, but it can be helpful to speak to somebody who speaks to a lot of other people in your situation. Really, the most significant benefit you will receive from involving someone else is accountability. Although this stuff is essential, in other words, understanding where you want to go in your life and career is really important, it's not actually urgent and it can quickly end up on the back burner. Having somebody to talk to prevents that from happening because they're always asking you about it and pushing you. So if you want to make that happen, then I want to make you an offer. If you're interested in me mentoring you, and by the way, there's no reason why it needs to be me, but if you are interested in me mentoring you in your career, I'm going to be knocking off 10% off my regular coaching prices, but only for January. Now, I'm not doing that because I want to pressure you into buying or use scarcity or anything like that, but I'm doing it because I know that this kind of stuff gets pushed away, that it doesn't happen. So if you do it now, then it will get prioritized, especially, to be honest, if you're spending money on it with someone like me. And that prevents it from slipping and never making progress in it. So if that's of interest to you, drop me a reply to paul@boagworks.com and I will tell you more about how it works and how I organize things. Otherwise, I would encourage you really to find anybody who can support you in your journey. It doesn't need to be an expert like me. As I said, what you really want is accountability to get you on track towards the destination that you want to achieve in your life and your career.